You said this 90s was age of information, and since 2010 starts age of customer. And tell us what is going to be beyond?
Beyond? Actually, this is obviously a very difficult question, because we think that the age of the customer will be a time that will at least last 10, 15 or 20 years. And so consequently we would talk about 2030 or after that. I think we will definitely continue to see a strong focus on the customer. And based on our ongoing research on the future of banking, that will be somewhere plus minus a few years targeted at 2030, I would dare to say that we need a huge amount of flexibility when it comes to banking, in terms of processes, in terms of organizational structures, in terms of technologies, to ensure that banks can work with the new business models, with the new modes of interaction with their clients, with the new modes of getting business done that will emerge. What do I mean by that? For example, marketplaces, where one bank will offer customers more than its own products, where it will offer a variety of choices. What I mean by that is that banks will certainly go for capabilities provided by other banks, much more than today. For example, it does not make sense to have that many different kinds of payment solutions and core banking solutions or settlement solutions, because these capabilities are not necessarily differentiating. So there will be different approaches to consume this, and there will be different approaches to serve retail customers, to serve corporate customers. It will be, in some cases, a tighter integration of solutions on the corporate side and the banking side. It will be about more loose coupling, as retail customers will switch banks more often. I think we will see, it will be a time that is mainly characterized by change, but we'll still see a very strong focus on the customer.
But you think in the future the bank still will be necessary for the customer, so we have to have a bank into our pocket. So what for is bank for the customer?
I think this is probably the question of questions today. And you asked, do I think banks will still be here? The answer pretty much depends on how banks will work, not in 2030, but how they will position themselves today. If a bank is doing business as it used to do, as has used to do for the last decades, probably it won't be here in 2030 and beyond.
So who is going to win?
I think banks that will accept the fact that they need to change how they do business, that align with customer requirements, that know more about the customer, that leverage all kind of information sources to serve the customer in the best possible way, both on the retail and the corporate side. Banks that will change their structures, their internal structures, to achieve this, to support this. Banks that will change the technology landscape to be successful in this area will definitely be the candidates to survive. This means they have to reach out to the customer to avoid disintermediation. This means they have to at least play around with the idea of marketplaces to show that they serve the customer, that they even offer competing products. They will have to open their applications via application programming interfaces, via APIs, to ensure that in an ecosystem where other banks could offer their products, where third-party software providers could create some kind of umbrella around multiple banking products, and not only for account aggregation, and that they can definitely succeed in such a kind of very dynamic environment. If they don't, as I said during the session, I believe we will clearly see low-speed and high-speed banks, and I believe next year will already show that some banks will start preparing to become high-speed banks.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.